Hello, everyone! Or I should say, R, matey! Be welcoming ye back to Banjo-Kazooie, the Let's Play. R! Because today, on episode 6, we're going to be entering the dreaded Rusty Bucket Bay. And that's basically all we're going to be doing in this episode, because thankfully we've pretty much cleared out the lair otherwise last time around. Last time was basically a Mad Monster Mansion and then some leftovers, essentially. There are still 2 Jiggies to collect in the lair, but obviously we'll be collecting those in between the levels, as it were. So, when we get the Witch Switch in Rusty Bucket Bay, we will be getting the Jiggy from that in the next episode. That's how the final 3 episodes are going to be laid out. It's pretty obvious this is going to be an 8-episode affair, with the final one, number 8, being the finale. Oh yes, the finale, as it were. But yeah, thanks to unlocking the ding pots, the cauldrons, we can just go right into this son of a gun. Rusty Bucket Bay. While not the largest level in the game, it is still fairly large though. And we do want to create a suspend point because, good lord. It's not the largest level in the world. I would say it's about the same size as Mad Monster Mansion, truth be told. But this is arguably the most difficult level in the game. And for good reason. Partially because of the fact musical notes do not save in the original N64 version, which that's what we are playing on the Switch Online application. And there is one particular section in here known as the engine room. And that's going to be the biggest point of contention. Which, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that right away or if we're going to do it later. I'm kind of just going to just go with the flow. So, the big focal point of our Rusty Bucket Bay, matey, is the ship in the center. I would say more than half of the collectibles are centered around the ship. There's also some poisonous water surrounding us as well. And I believe we want to enter this pipe because there is a switch in here that won't start anything right now, but it will be important for later. Thankfully, this does tie into the engine room, which is going to be where the majority of the difficulty of Rusty Bucket Bay lies, but not all of it. Even without the engine room factor, this is still, the hardest level in the game, without a doubt. But there is a lot more going on in the engine room, and not all of it is terrible. There's actually one part of this level that I've always really liked. Alright, what we want to do now is we want to try and go under the water, go through this crevice. Not a lot of room for error there, and save this pink Jinjo from the toxic waste prison, which is a great time to bring up that there's toxic water in Rusty Bucket Bay. And, oh god, this is looking bad. Can't get out of that hole. So, toxic water, when you're under the water, it will drain your oxygen at like twice the speed. And the weird thing is, even when you're like just above the water, your oxygen is still going to be drained. But I think when it's that way, it's like half the speed of normal underwater. Don't quote me on that for exact numbers, but generally you want to minimize your time and distance from the toxic water as much as possible, but there was that Jinjo there. Also be mindful of exploding boxes. In Spyro the Dragon, they warned you about flying boxes. In Banjo-Kazooie, it's exploding boxes. Slightly more realistic, actually, all things considered. There's also going to be a few of these egg tolls. And, yeah, this one, at first, you think, oh, it's only 2 eggs. That's easy. But it's actually more than that. So if you put in 4 more eggs, the platform will extend out further, which will actually not only distance us from that enemy in the wall, but it'll help us get these gold feathers and Mumbo Token. Last time we also finished off Cheeto. We got the last 2 Cheetos. For some reason you can get the last 2 back to back, and the first one like relatively early, all things considered. Now this window is the only window on a roof that's clear instead of gold. So that's probably worth mentioning. And I forget. Well, there's stuff to collect here. Oh yeah, the Jiggy, huh? You know, from the corner that kind of looked like a musical note. But hey, a jiggy's a jiggy, so it's going to start off so fresh. Oh, musical notes are over there. There's going to be a lot of buildings and whatnot that you can enter in Rusty Bucket Bay. And I'm pretty sure most of them have important collectibles to collect. Funny enough, we could actually use the eggs. There's an extra life there, but I'm not... Actually, considering it's Rusty Bucket Bay, it may be good habit to try and collect the life. Not necessarily for my sake, but good ethic for all of you watching to follow, since we are starting this fresh from the jump. Yeah. Take care of the wall enemies. I don't know exactly what these enemies are called, but they kind of look like slugs, so... Yeah. Let's try to fly all the way over here. And, oh, that was close. Yeah, these are the enemies from Clanker's Cavern. They've been showing up all over the place. And, yeah, we collect these music notes. And I think this should be everything in this building. 4 musical notes and a jiggy. Unfortunately, it looks like we have to exit through the bottom. Yeah, I kind of don't want to do that, truth be told. Or is there, like, a gate? Okay, there should be a gate over there. Yep, that's going to do us good. And the vision can be a little hampered there. Oh god, and it puts us right underneath the water too. Well, the thing is, we actually do need to go under the water to rescue a stranded dolphin. But that's kind of risky. I think now that we've done all of that, we can go ahead and do another safety state here. I normally only really recommend doing one at the start of a level when you're playing this on the Switch online application, but with Rusty Bucket Bay, it's way better to be safe than sorry. At any rate, we will address the dolphin situation. Be careful not to... It's so easy to fall back in that hole because of the camera angle. But yeah, you want to try not to fall back into the roof. Man, these safe states are coming in clutch, I'm telling you. And we're going to be around here. We're still relatively close to where that dolphin is. Be very careful to collect these musical notes on the edge. Talon Trot is very good for speed, but it is not good for control. And we'll head over to this toxic waste area to collect more musical notes on oil barrels, I want to say. Oh, and a Mumbo token. Yeah, we do still want to collect those. I find it hilariously fitting that they put the green Jinjo in the green toxic waste area. So we only need 3 more tokens, and we'll have enough for the final transformation in the game, which is going to be in Click Clock Wood. That's going to be the next level, which is not a spoiler because we unlocked it last time around. So, you know, don't get fidgety in the comments, please, and thank you. Okay, we want to head back here, and I think doing a state right here in the corner is best. So, there's 2 things we need to do here. We need to collect an extra honeycomb by going in here and entering a specific hole. Oh, hey, Snackers. Guess who's returned? Yep. For some reason, Snackers can just hang around the toxic water, no issue. Yeah, I don't get it either. So, this area is well hidden, and as far as I know, it only contains the one of the 2 extra honeycombs of Rusty Bucket Bay. The other one is actually fairly easy to get and is tied into the engine room. So, this one is the one that's more out of the way than the other. It's not really close to any other jiggies or whatnot. I guess it's kind of close to the musical notes. But you don't need every single musical note in the game to reach the final boss battle, or even get everything as far as I know. But you do have to get pretty close, and at that point, I'm sure anyone that plays this game any percent, 100% otherwise will tell you, you may as well just go for it, out of convenience. This extra honeycomb is a little tricky to get because of the way the flying works. It's not an exact science, as it were, but there we go. Yeah, a little tricky. And now we want to head back into the water, which you can do with the beat bomb. Pretty nice. I'm going to try and find that hole again. I'm not 100% sure if the water in here is still toxic, but again, better safe than sorry. So, we haven't needed to use the Wonder Wing yet, which is surprising. So, let's get back through the hole, and let's get out of here ASAP to the surface. you don't want to stay under the water longer than you have to. You always want to try and get back to the surface quickly. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a Jinjo on the buoy. Oh god, there's a Jinjo on the buoy. Alright, we get that Jinjo. And this is probably a great time for another safety state. And yeah, even without the engine room, you still gotta worry about the water potentially killing you. And it can easily do that. It can easily do that. So I guess we're just gonna have to exit through here, as it were. And, oh man, I'm definitely being risky now. So, let's take care of the stranded dolphin. For some reason I remembered we had to go deeper under the water, but I'm actually mixing it up with Clanker's Cavern. So yeah, Rusty Bucket Bay kind of harkens back to Clanker's Cavern elements a little bit with all the mechanical stuff going on. And a little bit of Treasure Trove Cove with the the sailors and the pirates. I think it's mostly sailors in this case, so think more so of Popeye the Sailor Man rather than One Piece. And then again, if you're thinking of anime, sorry, but you're kind of a weeb. I hate to say it, but you kind of are. Not that I haven't watched some good anime myself, just most of them tend to be older, you know, proven. So anyway, this switch will free the dolphin. I think his name is Snorkel the Dolphin, which actually kind of makes sense. So yeah, Snorkel will give us Jiggy number 2. We're pretty good ways to getting the Jinjo Jiggy as well, so that might be another situation like Mad Monster Mansion, where we actually get the Jinjo Jiggy as like one of the middle Jiggies, which would be unusual, but not exactly unexpected. Alright, thankfully the exit is kind of lit up with a red light of sorts, and we can head down to collect the Jiggy. Don't forget to use the normal A button swim for more control. Just when in this case, you probably don't want to overdo it, because it will sacrifice your speed in getting out of here and not succumbing. So I think we're pretty much done with the underwater sections of Rusty Bucket Bay. Thank God. So let's head back to the ship and explore over there some more. How are we looking on eggs? Wow, we need one more egg, and I will collect this egg. And let's do another safety state. I've probably done more safety states in this level so far than I have throughout the entirety of this Let's Play up to this point. If not by now, then certainly by the end of it. So besides that pipe to the engine room, there's also this pipe over here. And there's also a bunch of breakable windows around the ship as well that you need to keep an eye out for, as well as exploding boxes. Thankfully, the exploding boxes only take away 1 health, which is very easy to get back. Like, I'm not even really hurting over it or anything. Feathers are kind of nice, though. Not that there's a lot of flight pad action going on here. I mean, yeah, there was some in the extra honeycomb room, but other than that, I mean, not really. So, 5 music notes over here. More exploding boxes. You can also outrun the exploding boxes, which is pretty nice. Is there like a hidden Mumbo token right here somewhere? So yeah, Mumbo token here, and 5 music notes, which is something. You know, you can't say it's nothing. It's certainly something. Oh my god, trying to platform on those pipes is a pain. Then we knocked that out. We do want to look around for breakable windows. Some of the pipes can grow googly eyes and fangs and attack you, so be very, very careful. Man, this breakable window is too close for comfort there. This room has a few musical notes and a very interesting cameo of sorts. Let's see if we can actually get up there, though. It's a little tough. Yeah, check out this picture over here. So, this picture is actually of Barry, Conker's girlfriend from Conker's Bad Fur Day, but actually a beta design. Or it could be a design from the Game Boy game Conker's Pocket Tales. Not many people know of that game, but I actually played that game back in the day, which led to a surprise when I was curious to get Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64, and at the time I was 9 years old, so there was a lot of confusion trying to get the game from a Toys R Us. Rest in peace, at least in the United States for Toys R Us. Yeah, kind of a shock, because I was trying to get Conker's Bad Fur Day, and the employees were like, you can't get this game because you're not old enough. And that was actually, like, my first experience with a mature rated game, honestly, and I didn't even really get it because Conker's Pocket Tales was an E for everyone game on the Game Boy, you know? And I just realized that's actually another Game Boy game I played on the Game Boy that wasn't Pokemon. Or Super Mario Land 2. So that's a pretty interesting coincidence there. But anyway, we knocked out the Witch Switch pretty good ways off. This door will take us to the engine room. We're gonna blow it up for now and then take care of that later on. But there's an interesting thing with this TNT box, or TNT crate. I think we'll call it a box, because it's actually fairly relevant. I think we're fixing to come up to the boss fight of Rusty Buggy Day. I know what you might be thinking. There's a boss fight here? Well, I mean, we did have a boss fight in Treasure Trove Cove with Nipper, the hermit crab, the green hermit crab, right? I mean, that does count, right? I mean, I would think so. I mean, we had to hit him 3 times. But anyway, Beak Barge the switch, and, well, we blew that up. Oh, yeah, we definitely blew that up. Right, let's head over here, and this toll requires 8 eggs. And I just, farted them all out, because I got the controls mixed up on the Switch, but thankfully we have plenty of eggs to spare, so I'm not too worried about that sort of thing. And this pathway is not super thin, which is very much appreciated. However, we got these enemies to worry about over here. Actually, you know what? Let's just do the Wonder Wing over here, why not? The Wonder Wing is probably more insurance than just spamming the rat-a-tat-tat. That takes care of all of that. All we need now is the Blue Jinjo. And the location of which escapes my mind at the moment, but I'm sure we'll find it in due time. I don't think... Oh, I know where it is. I remember where it is. It's in one of the blue warehouses over there, actually. I think we're fixing to knock that out. So yeah, let's go over here, and again, mixing up my controls, and 6 eggs will do it here. For some reason, the first toll that only requires 2 is like the one exception. Okay, this pathway is a lot thinner, so we might want to do a safety state, more so for convenience than difficulty at this point, because that would be a lot to backtrack. But I've somehow managed to get it first try. Let's enter this blue warehouse the normal way. 4 music notes over here. Wow, that's actually fairly convenient. Mind the exploding boxes, but they're really not that big of a deal. Oh, plenty of eggs. We actually needed some from my earlier shenanigans, as it were. Iframe's coming in clutch, and apparently if you defeat all the boxes, you get an extra life. Neat. I didn't even know that. So we only came here for 4 music notes. Yeah, the collectibles in Rusty Bucket Bay are definitely spread out, for lack of a better word. There's also eggs in, like, the creases here? Like, really? Just 2 eggs in these creases? I never even really noticed that those were there. Not that I needed to notice they were there, I guess. So let's enter this one. I'm telling you guys, one of these has the Blue Jinjo. I think this one's it. Oh, and a Mumbo token. Nice. Convenience. No, wait, this one probably doesn't have the Blue Jinjo, but it does have a lot more music notes than that first one we went into. Alright, we're just gonna deal with the enemy that way. Again, with the different sizes, actually, I'm noticing that. Pretty interesting there. And bam, and bam. Yeah, just take your hits one at a time, why don't you? Don't ya know? Okay, should be that. So now we want to enter the middle blue warehouse, and we have to do that from the top. Alright, take it from the top, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that sort of thing. Thankfully, we've got these boxes over here to help us with that. If I don't slip off like that. And bam. Slip it in like a sly raccoon or something. Alright, we got a Mumbo token over there. Maybe we can try to get that. I don't know. I mean, this spot's a little bit dark. I'm actually barely seeing anything over here. So, take care of that guy. And there's the Blue Jinjo I was talking about, which is going to get us the Jinjo Jiggy. And this is only like Jiggy number 3, I think? This might be the earliest we've gotten the Jinjo Jiggy in this playthrough, so that's an interesting note for the Rusty Bucket Bay side of things. Yeah, how do we get that Mumbo token? Like, do we do that? No, that seems, Oh, there we go. Right? No? Dang, what did they do here to make that Mumbo token so out of the way? Like, whoa. Wait, is there a gold feather there? Okay, we want that gold feather. We've been kind of binging on the gold feathers lately. So... Oh, that's how you get it. Man, I don't even know. I can barely see these boxes. Okay, so I guess this room was basically just the blue Jinjo and the Mumbo token, but... Well, that is nice because now we have more than 25 Mumbo tokens, so any Mumbo tokens collected now are pretty much just free. So we're going to have to go all the way around there back to the toxic waste in order to get the other toll, which is kind of pointless now, to be honest, but yeah. Let's use the shock spring pad to get back to the ship this way. That way we can see the room that we unlocked by blowing it up with that giant TNT crate. Or TNT box, I should say. Because we are overdue for the boss encounter. Wait a minute. I thought I saw another Mumbo token. This is the funny thing. Even after I collect all the Mumbo tokens that I need in a playthrough, I still keep collecting them for some reason. So yeah, let's just beat Buster right in here. And yeah, time for the boss encounter. There's a lot of eggs here. You're probably wondering why. Well, because they're actually pretty useful against Boss Boom Box. Boss Boom Box. Now that's a name. Alright, so let's spam shooting eggs at this guy. And as you can see, the eggs are pushing him back surprisingly well. But you can actually use other attacks, like the Rat-a-tat-tat, and it works pretty well. There's also this. There's also Wonder Wing, which is gonna tear this guy apart. Especially if you got the double gold feathers cheat from Cheeto. And yeah, I think that just about took care of that. Dang. I don't think he stood a chance. But I do find the fight very fun. So that's actually one part of this level I look forward to on a replay typically. And they give you plenty of eggs here because they do expect you to take advantage of the fact that Boss Boom Box really takes a lot of recoil from blue eggs for some reason. Yeah, I don't really know why. It doesn't make sense. Like, I can understand him, like, his movement being stopped, but being pushed back? Like, come on now. I would think that he's a more durable container than that. I don't know. It's also pretty nice we got all the Jinjos out of the way, so now we're free to finish up exploring the ship, but we also... I think we do need to worry about the other side of the toxic waste, but... I mean, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Speaking of bridges, let's cross that bridge and look for some more windows to break. I think there's going to be one over here. Yes, there is. There's also stuff to find in the ships that are just hanging out on the sides of the ship, as it were. And there's a Jiggy here. It's just randomly hidden here. But, yeah, this should be Jiggy number 5, right? Because Boss Boom Box is number 4. So now we're halfway in the Jiggy count. Alright. And these sailor guys take one hit from Rat-a-tat-tat, but they take like 2 or 3 hits from other attacks. They probably take like 3 or 4 of these bear scratch attacks, to be honest though. Like, you never want to use that attack outside of Spiral Mountain, and even then, like, why bother? Okay, there are some eggs over there, but I'm pretty sure we don't need those anymore. And, yeah, Mumbo token right at the bow of the ship, I think. There's another Jiggy right there, too. Actually, I think I want to knock this out real quick, because there's like a code we can input here. At least I think there's a code. Is it 312111? Or something like that? 312111. 32 is number 1. At least I think it was something like that. Whoa. This is a whole separate Jiggy over here. Okay. Oh, I think I remember how we get that other Jiggy now. Yeah, it's starting to come back to me. And it's not in a good way, because I think it's one of those time limit situations. I think the time limit might have been kind of generous, but I don't know. A lot of the time limits that we've seen in Banjo-Kazooie thus far tend to not be very generous, truth be told. So, yeah, let's enter the pipe and see what's going on down here. I think this is the kitchen area. Yes it is. So, there's a Mumbo token in the fire, which you can get with the Wonder Wing. If you don't use the Wonder Wing there, you will take damage from the heat. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, is how that expression goes. Oh, and apparently you don't want to step on the gravy either. Yeah, you don't want to step on the gravy train. Kind of an annoying room to navigate though, because you see there's like this music note just hidden over there and a bunch of eggs. And yeah, but this is a good time to like go into first person and double check everywhere to make sure you're not missing much of anything. Which we don't seem to be, so we can just leave the same way we came in. I think, for the most part. Yeah, I was about to say, I thought we were stuck. So let's get on top of this box with this rope, and this is a good time for another suspend state. Oh yeah, I mean a lot of those. And let's climb to the top. Now I think about it, the engine room has like 2 Jiggies attached to it or something crazy like that. And yeah, getting this gold feather over here is nice. So let's drop, but not drop too low now. Come to think of it, if we drop down, can we come back up? Oh, there's a shock spring pad over there. There's like no point to do that egg toll, but for completion's sake, for you guys, I'm gonna do it. Just for the sake of completion. So let's go ahead and do that. Head to the other side. This box is annoying, and we just got a gold feather, so why not? So let's take advantage of the shock spring pad and head over here, and head over here. And safety state here, mostly because if we fail, we can just start from the top. Beat bar to the switch, and it goes up. And we're gonna have to climb this ladder over here and get to the top ASAP. Not sure if Talon Trot is mandatory for this or if it like makes the difference, but I'm still gonna do it. So let's do this and rat-a-tat-tat and bam! Probably not my best performance, but got the job done, right? Thankfully the box will stop on top of you. It'll let you get away from under its clutches, as it were. And now we can continue to climb the ship. Now that I think about it, I think there's a Jiggy like at the top of the ship because you can just keep climbing up and up. I also like this part of the level, just climbing up the ship and exploring and collecting the musical notes and whatnot. It's one of the less difficult parts, so it's mostly chill. Other than the enemies, like the floating rings and the pipes that are trying to eat you alive, that might be a little unsettling, but not that, not that big of a deal. Almost ran right into that enemy. But let's use the shock spring pad here, because there's another Mumbo token here. If we can get the 30, I guess that would be a really nice number to end on. There's going to be a lot of musical notes around the ship, definitely. Especially around the 2 towers, as it were. Or the 2 chimneys, I should say. And there's the Jiggy I was talking about, so there we go. Nice to get that out of the way. There's only 2 Jiggies left, and I'm pretty sure they're both tied to the engine room, so let's just fly on down here, and bam. I'm curious if maybe we missed a window somewhere, so I'm going to do a double check for that, for windows that might still need to be broken. Oh, and got ate up by that pipe. Oh, darn. And there was the password, by the way. It's a very simple password to remember. So we will do another sweep of that later, but let's check our statistics before we go into the engine room. 25 minutes, half of the extra honeycombs, most of the notes, and 8 out of 10 Jiggies. That sounds about right. So let's go ahead and do that suspend state. Why not? Because, yeah, it's time for the engine room, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I hope you are prepared. Whoa, again, almost ran right into that enemy, huh? Whoa, almost ran into that one, too. Anyway, you want to fly down and try to do a flip-flap there and get here because there's extra honeycomb there. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Beehive, thankfully you don't have to... The bees won't bother you if you don't bother them. got another Mumbo token right here, so yeah, we'll just take that, and there's our 30. Nice, even number to end at. Gotta jump on the cogs, the gears, as it were. Or all of a sudden, we're gear grinding over here. Okay, wait for this pipe to stop rotating, and there's another Mumbo token over there. There's plenty of Mumbo tokens. Now that I think about it, if we fall at any point in this engine room, it is instant death. And believe it or not, this is only one difficult aspect of the engine room. It's actually kind of incredible. It's only one of several aspects. So I don't really think we're going to need too much hope for this. But yeah, we could just do that, and bam. Hopefully this isn't the switch that's timed. I hope it's not. I don't think we're quite... Oh yeah, that does freeze it, but I don't think that's the time limit, is it? Is it? I don't see a time limit. So we're just gonna continue our business as usual. So we still gotta collect all of the musical notes. I don't think the propeller over here wants to slow down very much. But we gotta try. Yeah, it's not easy, I'm telling you. It's not easy being cheesy. So let's go ahead and grab this jiggy over here, and this is going to be the second to last. Oh boy. So let's get this one, and then go back. Hopefully we're not missing any musical notes. I'm starting to get paranoid about that. So let's do the same thing we did earlier, but like exact timing. Like holy crap. Okay, jump the pipe. And there's another Mumbo token over there. So, I mean, I know, it's not necessary, but I'm compelled to collect. Darn it. We're playing an N64 rare platformer after all. Actually, I think I may know where the last 4 music notes are. Funnily enough, that spot is, it's going to be very tricky. Yeah, this is going to be the most tricky part, trying to do that. So, let's try and wait out the rotation, maybe, and jump up that way. Oh, I guess I was wrong about the music notes. I thought the last music notes were over here, but it turns out, nah, not really. But there are exactly enough eggs over here to help us out with that. So, this is going to be the switch. This is going to be the freaking switch. So we got to hit this switch now. Make sure you hit the other one too, apparently. And with both switches hit, now we're going to have a time limit. And it's not a pretty one. So, yeah, you can see why it's not a pretty one. Now do you see why people have so much trouble with the engine room? Because it's way too difficult for its own good. Come to think of it though, no, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop those propellers. Bam! Yeah, try to get me now. I'm trying to be all smart. Alright, let's not worry about the gears. Oh my god, I can't believe I clutched that. Alright, now we need to climb this ladder. We still got like 40 seconds. Honestly, the time limit part of this is not that difficult. It's more so the whole threat of falling down and losing a life and having to recollect all of the music notes all over again. So it's actually recommended to do this last and make sure you get all of the notes. That way if you die, it doesn't really matter. Like, it really isn't going to matter at all. Alright, let's do a suspend state right in the middle of this. Only going to have 18 seconds to do this. So, drop down, and then swim right into the jiggy, and there we go. So now, the only issue that remains is where are the last 4 music notes? Yeah. Well, hey, of all the issues to be worried about, that isn't really going to be that big of a deal. So, now let's just get back to safe land. I already got those music notes, so we don't have to worry about that. So, let's head on the roof. Let's head back to the entrance pad, and then, Yeah, we'll probably do an impromptu, I'm gonna do an impromptu jump cut here until we find where the music notes are, okay? And we're back. Turns out I missed a window to break, so we know how that situation goes, and, yeah, I believe this is actually the captain's chart room, as it were. And yeah, it's just 4 musical notes, and a mumbo token, a bunch of eggs, and this is a pretty cool looking room here. It's kind of frustrating to have the last 4 notes there. But there's also a bunch of these gremlin enemies over here too. So with that said, this is going to end off episode 6 of Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. Too many minutes, man. Too many minutes. So see you guys next time as we take on Click Clock Wood. And we do need to get that Jiggy though. Actually, you know what? Let's do exactly that. Let's get the Jiggy and then call it a session. Alright? Yeah, so let's get the freak out of there and let's head back over to this room because I'm not sure if we're actually going to stop by this room or not, truth be told, because there are other things we could do. But let's go ahead and at least get this Jiggy out of the way. It should be over here. And yoink! Yeah, let's just go ahead and grab this Jiggy, and now we'll call it an episode. So next time on Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, we take on the infamous Click Clock Wood, and one of the best levels in the game, honestly. I like it a lot. So you guys take care, and see you then.